Good day, sir. I am Karen Perez Liedo from Section Charlie, and now I am going to read the Article 16 to 17 of the Revised Penal Code. Article 16, who are criminally liable. The following are criminally liable for grave and less grave felonies. 1. Principals. 2. Accomplices. 3. Accessories. The following are criminally liable for light felonies. 1. Principals. 2. Accomplices. Accessories. Not liable for light felonies because the individual prejudice is so small that penal sanction is not necessary. Only natural person can be criminals as only they can act with malice or negligence and can be subsequently deprived of liberty. Juridical person are liable under special laws. Manager of a partnership is liable even if there is no evidence of his direct participation in the crime. Corporation may be injured party. General rule: corpses and animals have no right that may be injured. Exception: defamation of the dead is punishable when it blackens the memory of one who is dead. Article 17. Principals. The following are considered principals. 1. Those who take a direct part in the execution of the act. 2. Those who directly force to induce others to commit it. 3. Those who cooperate in the commission of the offense by another act without which it would not have been accomplished. Principals by direct participation. Requisites for 2 or more to be principals by direct participation. 1. Participated in the criminal resolution, conspiracy. 2. Carried out their plan and personally took part in its execution by acts which directly tended to the same end. Conspiracy is unity of purpose and intention. Establishment of conspiracy. 1. Proven by overt act. 2. Not mere knowledge or approval. 3. It is not necessary that there be formal agreement. 4. Must prove beyond reasonable doubt. 5. Conspiracy is implied when the accused had a common purpose and were united in execution. 6. Unity of purpose and intention in the commission of the crime may be shown in the following cases. 1. Spontaneous agreement at the moment of the commission of the crime. 2. Active cooperation by all the offenders in the perpetration of the crime. 3. Contributing by positive acts to the realization of a common criminal intent. 4. Presence during the commission of the crime by a band and lending moral support thereto. 5. While conspiracy may be implied from the circumstances attending the commission of the crime, it is nevertheless a rule that conspiracy must be established by positive and conclusive evidence. Conspirator not liable for the crimes of the other which is not the object of the conspiracy or is not a logical or necessary consequence thereof. Multiple rape. Each rapist is liable for another crime because each cooperated in the commission of the rapes perpetrated by the others. Exception: in the crime of murder with treachery, all of the offender must at least know that there will be treachery in executing the crime or cooperate therein. Example: Juan and Pedro conspired to kill Tomas without the previous plan of treachery. In the crime scene, Juan used treachery in the presence of Pedro, and Pedro knew such. Both are liable for murder. But if Pedro stayed by the gate while Juan alone killed Tomas with treachery so that Pedro didn't know how it was carried out, Juan is liable for murder while Pedro for homicide. No such thing as conspiracy to commit an offense through negligence. However, special laws may make one a co-principal. Example: under the Pure Food and Drug Act, a store owner is liable for the act of his employees of selling adulterated coffee although he didn't know that coffee was being sold. Conspiracy is negated by the acquittal of co-defendant. That the culprits carried out the plan and personally took part in the execution by acts which directly tended to the same end. 1. The principals by direct participation must be at the scene of the crime, personally taking part. Although he was not present in the scene of the crime, he is equally liable as a principal by direct participation. 2. One serving as guard pursuant to the conspiracy is a principal direct participation. If the second element is missing, those who did not participate in the commission of the acts of execution cannot be held criminally liable unless the crime agreed to be committed is treason, sedition, or rebellion. Principals by induction, those who directly force or induce others to commit it. Principal by induction liable only when principal by direct participation committed the act induced. Requisites: 1. An endorsement be made directly with the intention of procuring the commission of the crime. 2. Such endorsement be the cause of commission of the crime by material executor. Forms of endorsements: 1. By price, reward, or promise. 2. By irresistible force or uncontrollable fear. 3. Commander has the intention of procuring the commission of the crime. 4. Commander has ascendancy or influence. 5. Words used be so direct, so efficacious, so powerful. 6. Command be uttered prior to the commission. 7. Executor had no personal reason. 4. Imprudent advice does not constitute sufficient endorsement. 5. Requisites for words of command to be considered endorsement: words uttered in the heat of anger and in the nature of the command that had no obeyed do not make one an inductor. Inductor, endorse others. Liable only when the crime is executed. Covers any crime. Proposes to commit a felony. Same. Punishable at once when proposes to commit rebellion or treason. The person to whom one proposed should not commit the crime, otherwise the latter becomes an inductor. Covers only treason and rebellion. Effects of acquittal or principal by direct participation on liability of principal by endorsement. 1. Conspiracy is negated by the acquittal of the co-defendant. 2. One cannot be held guilty of instigating the commission of the crime without first showing that the crime has been actually committed by another. But if the one charged as principal by direct participation be acquitted because he acted without criminal intent or malice, it is not a ground for the acquittal of the principal by endorsement. Principals by indispensable cooperation: those who cooperate in the commission of the offense by another act without which it would not have been accomplished. Requisites: 1. Participation in the criminal resolution. 2. Cooperation through another act includes negligence. There is collective criminal responsibility when the offenders are criminally liable in the same manner and to the same extent. The penalty is the same for all. There is individual criminal responsibility when there is no conspiracy. That's all. Thank you for listening.